Welcome to Talking Early Years, a showcase training podcast with Ellen Roberts
and Gemma Carr.
Hello and welcome to today's Talking Early Years podcast. In this episode, we're going to be discussing online safety. So let's delve in. Hi Gemma, how are you?
Very well, thank you, Ellen. How are you?
Good. Yes, not too bad, thank you. Not too bad. So this is your last safeguarding short.
We've made it a goodie with online safety, but I have to rein in my online my online thoughts of everything. Otherwise it won't be a short at all.
A safeguarding long.
A safeguarding long, yeah, absolutely.
We make these topics forever, can't we?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
So Ellen, start us off. What is online safety? What does this term mean? What's included?
So it's a very broad term, and I think it develops massively over the last few years, especially. So it's all about keeping yourself safe and your information safe online. So it includes things like your personal information. So from a basic level of password security, staying alert for scams, cybercrime, those kind of things. But also keeping yourself safe in terms of safeguarding grooming, extremism, radicalisation, mis and disinformation. So misinformation being misleading things, disinformation being deliberately false information, so fake news, and also keeping yourself safe from things like dangerous content, so gore or being safe with your communication, having responsible behaviour online, so online bullying, that kind of thing is all about keeping yourself and others safe online and using it responsibly.
Okay. So is there legislation around this?
There is. Quite a lot of it is historic legislation, and a lot of them are, as in all of safeguarding, they cover lots of different elements of online safety. Most recently, we've got the Online Safety Act of 2023, which is constantly actually going through review and being updated as well. So that's a really useful one to get and familiarise yourself. And it's our main law in the UK for making the internet safer. So one of the main aspects of it requires online platforms such as social media companies, search engines, messaging services, so your WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, that kind of thing. They are required to remove illegal content, protect children from harmful materials, reduce risks such as cyberbullying and abuse, and have systems for reporting harmful content. So of course this is just in the UK. However, there are international laws that look to do a similar thing as well. It's quite an unregulated space, the internet, just where it is connected to so many different aspects of the world. But in the UK, and again, this is where we've got to remember, and our listeners need to remember, we are governed by UK law, nobody else. Our regulator is Ofcom, and they are responsible for enforcing the act. So alongside safety act, we've got our Data Protection and GDPR Act from 2018, which is all about rights to your data, reporting inaccurate data, and protecting against misuse of your personal information. We have the Computer Misuse Act of 1990, so quite a while ago now, but that's all about hacking, spreading malware, unauthorized access to computer systems, for example. The Communications Act of 2003, so again, 20 years ago, but that's making it an offence to send threatening or offensive messages online. So that includes things like race hate, which we tend to see around World Cup time and that kind of thing, especially in that kind of online sphere. It is an offence also to misuse communication networks, so for that reason as well, so spreading hate, those kind of things. Of course, we relate it to something slightly different now than perhaps it was intended originally. But again, that legislation was future-proofed for reasons. And then we also have the Protection from Harassment Act 1997. So that's all about cyberbullying, cyberstalking, and repeated online harassment. And then finally, we also have things like keeping children safe in education in 2025, the prevent duty, copyright laws, fraud legislation, E&D, sexual offences legislation, all of these things all tie in. So just because it's online rather than in the world and physically in front of you, it's still protected under legislation.
Interestingly, there you said about WhatsApp as well, which you kind of get as an online platform, but absolutely. You know, it's not just texting, is it? That's an online platform, absolutely, as well. So kind of thinking about all of that as well. So
sharing videos and all that kind of thing, it's still relevant.
So what's the impact of it and of all of these things?
As always, again, with social media and tech, there's positive and negative impacts. And I think some people just don't realise the impact that it can have. And that's why legislation is there, is to make people think twice about what they're doing and not hide behind a screen when they're doing it. We had a recent local case in a school where some children were sharing an indecent image of a peer. It was one of their classmates, but they were all under 16. And under the eyes of the law, that's sharing an indecent image of a child. But they don't realise that, of course, and you'd hope that they wouldn't have thought along those lines, but the impact and the consequence of certain things people just don't really think about. And that's, again, where that legislation makes people think about that consequence, or should hopefully make people think. So online safety, it aims to, of course, protect vulnerable individuals and encourage responsible online behaviour. It can reduce online risk. So for your personal identification, it supports people to use it safely. It builds trust in tech as well, that online safety. So using it in a responsible manner, and creating a safer digital space that can be trusted. That's what we aim to do with online safety. The flip side of it, of course, the impact of not having a safe online space is lots of things. So it could be the misinformation, harmful content, impacts on mental well-being, fraud, sexual exploitation, criminal exploitation, those kind of things. But again, it's not all bad, and we've got to think about, it does give us a wealth of access to information. It does connect us all much better, and it gives us wider opportunities and social opportunities. There's a great convenience online, doing your online shopping and things like that. There's so many pros and cons, but having an awareness of that helps us really to use it in the right way.
Absolutely. So what should we be thinking about in settings? What should we be looking out for?
So I think certainly primarily education of children, primarily of parents, and of ourselves as professionals. So educating colleagues, making sure that we are limiting screen time. It depends on age and access, of course, but having it there as an opportunity, not necessarily just go right, no screens whatsoever, but limiting it so that there's a balance there. Making sure that there's filters for age appropriate content. Having discussions about online communication risks, especially for the slightly older children. Of course, in early years, there'll be a limit to that. But even gaming and things like that, I hear younger and younger children getting into, Roblox and Minecraft and those kind of things. So having that understanding, especially with parents, on how to look after children in that digital kind of realm. Having education on data protection, so use of strong passwords, securing devices, antivirus software, keeping devices up to date, just again on a personal level to keep your own information secure, but especially with things like sharing the children's information. So last year we had a kiddo cyber attack where there was a ransom attack for the information on there. They had like an online portal where they would put updates for the children, of the children, and photos and things for the parents to see, and that unfortunately was hacked, and they hadn't kept it secure enough. So again, making sure that we're understanding the potential impact of it not being secure, but also educating people about online behaviours. So one of the aspects of keeping children safe in education is that under safer recruitment now, when you recruit somebody in any level of education, you should do online media checks. So looking at that history of that individual, is this person suitable to be working with children? Are they posting controversial or inappropriate content online? And that's historic as much as, a DBS would look back as well. So again, it is about having an education of what's acceptable and what's not, but also how you keep personal data protected and what personal data is. We've mentioned before the back to school photos. That's my favourite on social. Face, name, logo of the school, fabulous, wonderful. But people don't realise that's their personal information.
Absolutely. Even if you're just going on holiday, that you've just told the world that your house is empty, things like that, even, isn't it? It's those add-ons of all of those things as well, isn't it? So if I'm struggling, if I need some support with online safety, where can I go?
So primarily the UK Safer Internet Centre is the main hub for all things online safety. So they do lots of research into things and recommendations, and they help shape government legislation as well. Of course, we've got the NSPCC, and they have the Online Safety Hub. We've also got Childline, Internet Matters, and the National Cyber Security Centre. And we also have something called CEOP, Safety Centre, the Child Exploitation and Online Protection. So for more specialist and specific advice, we can go to places like that as well. But again, primarily NSPCC and UK Safer Internet Centre.
Amazing. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. So thank you very much for everyone tuning in today. As always, safeguarding is a massive topic, and if you've got any concerns, make sure you reach out to your settings DSL, to the Showcase Training Safeguarding Lead, which is myself, or direct to MASH or LADO.
So don't forget to like, share, follow this podcast to stay updated and keep the conversation going, host. And until next time, take care and keep making a difference.